Hi everyone, welcome once again to Unified Housekeeping YouTube channel where we make housekeeping simple and your success is our delight. Alright, so today I'm going to be taking us through the professional value station. It is a silent written station and it is 10 minutes, and in this station you're going to be writing in bullet points. You'll have a scenario. With the professional value, there are about 15 subtopics that you can be tested on. Okay, and you have to familiarize yourself with all these 15 because you wouldn't know where your own question is going to come from. And your scenario could be from bullying, it could be from falsifying time shift, it could be drug error, it could be confidentiality, it could be social media, and so on. So you have to know about all these subtopics. However, there are some 3 responses that are quite that cuts across all these 15 subtopics, that are quite common to all the 15 subtopics. So I'm going to be telling us those 3 points. So apart from those 3 points, you have to look for those ones that are specific to each of those scenarios. All right, so the first one is that any action that is against the code of conduct for nursing and midwifery council, you have to acknowledge that that act is wrong. And apart from acknowledging that the act is wrong, you have to raise a concern. And who are you going to raise this concern with? You have to raise the concern either to your nurse in charge, to your line manager, or to the nursing and midwifery council itself. And in raising this concern, you have to follow your duty of candor, you have to be honest, you have to be clear about this concern. And apart from that, you have to write an incident report. And this report, you have to write it in a clear and legible way. And then you have to state the time and who did you raise this concern with? What are the steps? What were the steps that was taken to rectify whatever the concern was? So these three points actually cut across all the 15 subtopics in professional value station. Okay, all right, so today I'm going to be talking about falsifying time shift. I have a scenario here. I'm going to be reading out the scenario and then what should be your response. So remember I said this has to be in bullet points and you have to write it as legible as possible. If you have any reason to strike out any of your points, ensure that it is clear. Just put a single line on it, and then instead of mudding up your points, just write it on the next line. All right, so let's go. So I'm going to be reading the scenario. A colleague of yours who has just finished a 12-hour shift with an hour break, which he observed, has just asked you to sign his timesheet stating he did not observe his 1-hour break. As far as you are aware, this is falsifying timesheet. So this colleague of yours has just finished a 12-hour shift and he observed his 1-hour break, but now he wants you to sign that he did not observe his 1-hour break. As far as you're concerned, this is falsifying timesheet. So what should be your response? The first response is that you have to acknowledge that that act is wrong. All right, so I'm going to be reading the points that I have here. We are writing in bullet points. So the first one, I will recognize that falsifying timesheets for personal financial gain is an unlawful, fraudulent action. Period. And then the second point is that I will acknowledge that it is my professional duty to report the nurse's unlawful and dishonest behavior to my line manager and the professional body, the Nursing and Midwifery Council. And failure to report concerns may bring my own fitness to practice into question and can place my own registration at risk, reflecting the duty of candor. That is it. And that leads us to our third point. So what is our third point? I will verbally report concerns to the manager and the temporary staffing manager at the earliest opportunity, verbally and in writing, recognizing the need for me to be clear, to be honest, and to be objective about the reasons for my concern. And that is it. Simple, isn't it? All right, so our fourth point on falsifying time shift will be I will make a clear written incident report of the occurrence, including the date and with whom the concern was raised. Okay? And the fifth point is that I will recognize that I may be asked to make a formal witness statement for the NHS fraud team and the police. Okay? And our last point will be that I will recognize that the fundamental tenets of nursing profession are truth and honesty, and that this behavior does not promote the standards and values set out in the code for promoting professionalism and trust. And that is it. That is the end. All right, so it is simple, but just make sure your writing is as clear as possible, and you write in bullet points. Okay, and don't forget to put your name as well. Thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you some other time. Bye for now.